Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Leanne and on this channel I do all things makeup related basically. I do makeup giveaways, makeup tutorials and makeup reviews. So today is a makeup review and it's part of my Foundation Friday series. So the foundation that I will be reviewing today is the MILANI Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer, and my shade is number 3 Light Beige. That's what we're going to be reviewing today. So if you actually want my honest thoughts and opinions on this foundation, which is old but I've heard really good things about it, so that's why I decided to review it for Foundation Friday. So yeah, as I was saying, if you want my honest thoughts and opinions on this foundation, obviously stick around to the end, keep on watching. While you're here, why don't you just give this video a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, it's all free, and if you want to be extra nice, leave me a comment. But yeah, apart from that, let's just jump right in. So obviously for today's Foundation Friday, I'm going to be going in with the MILANI Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. So today I'm actually just going to be using this foundation, but I'm not going to be using a concealer. I'm actually going to be using this as a concealer to see if it lives up to the claim. So I'm just going to read out some of the claims that this foundation does make. So my shade is shade 3 Light Beige, which I'm not actually sure if this is even my shade. I hope that it is, but obviously now during COVID you can't actually shade match yourself, so let's hope for the best with this shade anyway. So the formula is lightweight and oil free. It's a long wearing formula and it's a medium to full coverage. So today I'm going to probably try and build this up to full coverage because that's just the type of girl I am. I really do love full coverage. It's water resistant and cruelty free, which we love on this channel. Now the price for this is £14.25, so even though MILANI is drugstore, I do think that that is slightly above, let's say Maybelline prices for example. Obviously slightly above ELF, a lot, like double the price of ELF foundation, but we're going to give it a go anyway. I have actually tried this before years ago. When I went to America I picked up 2 bottles, obviously used it years ago. I think I liked it, but I can't actually remember why or whatever, but I know it's like an oldie but a goodie, so I am actually excited to try this again. So today, like I always do on most of my Foundation Friday videos, I'm going to be doing one side of the face with a brush and one side with a beauty sponge to see if it makes any difference. And this is going to feel so weird not actually using a concealer, which is part of my makeup routine. Where every time I do my makeup I always use a concealer, but we'll see today anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by putting 2 pumps on my little plastic palette, because that way your product won't soak up into like your hands or whatever, and you'll obviously make the product go further, which will save you money. So that's why I'm doing that. So I've put 2 pumps on and it is quite a thick formula really. Yeah, on this side I'm going to be going in with a beauty sponge. And no concealer. So I'm going to be going in with my Morphe beauty sponge and just pressing this into the skin. So far it does actually seem to have a nice coverage. Do we think it's full coverage? No, I'm going to say no. I don't think it's full coverage straight away, but obviously it can definitely be built up to full coverage. I can see that straight away. I'd definitely say it's medium, even on the first little application. What do we think about the under eye? Would I feel comfortable going out like this with my under eye just with foundation on? I probably would, But then again, that's me because I don't feel that my under eye bags are like that bad. But I can imagine that if someone did have really dark under eye bags, they probably wouldn't feel comfortable going out with this as a foundation and concealer. So now I do realise that I need to add more to my little palette because 2 pumps has not gone that far really. So I'm just going to add 1 more pump, so that's the 3rd pump now. And I love that this foundation has a pump. It obviously just makes tutorials so much easier when you're trying to explain how much product is needed. Honestly, lifesaver. So yeah, I'm going in on this side now. And I'm just going to be building this up. The foundation as well, it doesn't actually dry super quick. So there is actually room to just let it sit on the skin. So what do we think as well in terms of coverage? Can you see a difference from the side that I've used the brush to the side that I've used the beauty sponge? I always think that I actually can see a difference always. I always feel like the brush side is more full coverage, but sometimes looks a little bit more cakey. So I'm going to go in with another layer now. And obviously I'm going to be applying this to the under eye. And I've actually got a blemish here that everyone can probably see. So I'm going to try and cover this because the foundation does claim to be full coverage. So it should actually be capable of covering this blemish. Also as well, a little tip for if you are actually trying to cover blemishes is, you see the way I've got the brush like this when I'm actually patting in the foundation? Well, if you are trying to cover a blemish, I would always tend to put the brush on the side rather than like that. I'd always sort of press the brush flat against the blemish, as that way I feel like you're disturbing it a little bit less and gaining more coverage by patting it down. So they're the difference in sides. Can we notice a difference in the under eye? I think this one looks more full coverage than this one. Again, though, I've used a brush on this under eye. So I'm going to go in now and apply a little bit more foundation and try and build up coverage under this under eye. Okay, that seemed to do the trick a little bit better. And it's not actually caking on the under eye, which is obviously a good thing. Sometimes concealers cake straight away and sit in the fine lines in the under eye, but so far so good. So this is how the face is looking. I actually like the coverage. I definitely feel like this side, the one with the brush, is more full coverage than this side. Let me know what you think. Obviously that's just my opinion, you could see something totally different. But I am going to be going in now and setting the under eye as if I'd applied concealer, even though I haven't. So to set the under eye without concealer, well, technically it is concealer because if it's a foundation concealer, I've technically used concealer, haven't I? So yes, to set my concealer, I'm going to be going in with the Revolution Makeup Revolution Luxury Baking Powder, and this is in the shade Lace. And I'm going to be sticking to the same theme of actually setting this under eye with a beauty sponge, and I'm going to be setting the other under eye with a brush. So I've just picked up a little bit. And I'm just going to be setting over the eyelids too, as they can sometimes crease. So that actually looks quite nice now that I've put the powder under the under eye. It actually looks similar to if I had actually applied a concealer. So far so good. So now I'm going to be going in with the same brush and just picking up a little bit of that same powder. So there we go. This one has been set with a sponge and this one's been set with a brush. So which under eye do we think looks better? Just dim the light to see if that makes it any better. I think they both kind of look quite similar really. So yeah, it does feel weird not actually using a typical concealer, but so far I am actually impressed. So I'm going to go now and do the rest of the makeup off camera, then I'll check in and show you how all of the skin products have sat on top of this foundation, and then I'm going to be doing a wear test. So BRB. Hey guys, so I am just checking back in now, as I said that I would do. So this is how my skin looks now. I've applied the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer in the shade number 3, light beige. So this is the result now that all of the skin products are on top. I actually think it looks really nice. I can actually see some pores in my skin, like coming through the foundation, but obviously this foundation does not claim to be a pore filling foundation. So, and it's no worse than normal with any other foundations. What do we think? Do we think it looks nice? Is it too matte? Is it too dewy? I think it's just right. I think it's somewhere just in between, and I am actually impressed with the under eyes that I would actually go as far as to say it actually looks like I've used a normal concealer. What do you think? I'm actually quite happy with how the skin's looking, and I am impressed and shocked that I've actually got no concealer on. But yeah, I'm going to check out now. I'm going to check back in a few hours so we can do a wear test on this foundation, because it did claim to be a long wearing formula, so we'll see. But yeah, I'll see you in a few hours, that is, but seconds in YouTube time. So guys, I'm just checking in now, as I promised you that I would. So obviously we were talking about this foundation. Now this is how my skin is looking. This is 9 hours later, by the way. So I've had this foundation on the skin for 9 hours, and I am actually so impressed. I'm happy that the shade matched, even though I explained in the video, obviously it was just a wild guess. So I am actually happy that the shade matched my actual skin tone. I do think all the other products on top have sat really nice. I am actually over the moon with the under eye coverage. Like obviously, you know, no concealer, and it hasn't really creased underneath or caked or anything. So that's another bonus for this product. The only problem that I do have with this foundation is that it actually came off a little bit on the chin. But today I have actually been out and had to wear a mask where I was going. So I only had the mask on for about 10 minutes, let's say, but still, obviously it's not ideal to have a mask on over foundation. So it's definitely come off a little bit on the chin, which is normal for me. That always seems to happen, unfortunately. Now, also as well, on the forehead, I don't know if you can see because the light's that bright. I'm just going to dim it a little bit. I don't know if you can see here, but it's actually like oil is coming through on the forehead, which is normal for me. But obviously, I know this foundation claims to be an oil-free formula and whatnot, but yeah, whatever, like there's loads of oil on my forehead anyway, which is not ideal at all. So that's like my only really concern. The foundation is separating on the forehead, so yeah, that's obviously not a good look. So obviously you know that I actually didn't set this foundation with any powder, which I would normally do on the forehead just to stop things like this from happening, but I didn't today because I just wanted to give a really honest review of this foundation. But obviously next time I use this foundation, because I will be using it next time because I actually really do love it, I will obviously be like setting my own like forehead with powder. So obviously keep a lookout on this channel because you will be seeing more of this little guy. So would I recommend this foundation? Definitely. I love that it's so diverse. You can actually use it as concealer and foundation. Love that, and I'd definitely try it again if I'm in a rush or anything. It obviously cuts out one step of the makeup. So yes, I definitely recommend it. And Milani is cruelty free, by the way. I hope that I mentioned that in the intro. If I did, sorry for repeating myself, but yeah, that's something that's so important to me anyway. So I just wanted to mention it for anyone else who's like proper passionate about being cruelty free and stuff. So yes, apart from that, if you've hung around till now, you're a real one. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And obviously, if you could please give this video a big like, please subscribe if you're not already, obviously turn on the notification bell, and if you want to be really nice, leave me a comment and we'll chat. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial. I hope that you all enjoyed, and I hope that obviously I've gave you a good review and that it helps you obviously make a good choice in foundation. So yes. By the way, I don't think I've mentioned this, how annoying am I, but my skin is combination. Just for anyone wondering what this foundation would be like on your skin. Obviously it's combination because it's dry in some areas, normal in others, and then oily obviously on the forehead. So yeah, my skin's combination. So I'm not sure how this foundation would perform on someone with really oily skin. Obviously we can do other things like set it with powder, as I was just explaining, but yes, side note, my skin is combination. So okay, I'm really going now. Thanks guys.